A hush falls along the rope line at Royal Melbourne. Wind whispers through the Thai tree, gray clouds stretch across the sky, and Rory McIlroy crouches over what should be a routine punch-out. Then the camera zooms in and, the gallery gasps, a banana peel. Yellow and torn, drapes against the ball like a prank from the golf gods. Rory steps back, jaw tight. He knows the rule. Touch it, risk nudging the ball. Invite a penalty. Play it as it lies or pay the price. The air feels heavy. Phones rise. A marshal shuffles. Somewhere, a kid whispers, "No way." Rory breathes, recalculates the shot, and commits. Club back, club through. Thud. The contact is awkward. The ball leaks. The damage is instant. On the leaderboard, the red numbers from the morning suddenly feel far away. On social media, the clip explodes. One stray piece of litter, and a champion's day tilts off axis. But if there's a through line in Rory's career, it's this. Take the hit, swallow the noise, and hunt for birdies on the very next hole. The question now isn't what happened, it's how he answers it. If there's a through line in Rory's career, it's this. Take the hit, swallow the noise, and hunt for birdies on the very next hole. The question isn't what happened, it's how he answers it. Rory didn't fly to Australia for a cameo. He came for rhythm. Real tournament reps on one of the purest tests on earth. Royal Melbourne isn't about raw distance or rough that grabs your ankles. It's about geometry. Firm fairways that skip the ball into the wrong shoulder. Bunkers carved like bowls. Greens that demand you land short and let the slope carry it. Impatience here gets you sent home early. For Rory, that's both a challenge and a canvas. When he's flowing, his driver draws ribbons and his wedges paint windows. Crowds trail him through the Thai tree, drawn by precision and artistry. Expectations are loud too. He's a global star, a major champion. A player who lives on leaderboards, and any start outside contention feels like a plot twist. The week began in a low hum. Solid swings, shrugged putts, a card that could have been a few strokes better. Then came the viral hiccup, a rare air swing from the scrub. The kind of clip golf doesn't forget. He answered with late birdies and a number that kept the weekend alive. Stumble, steady, surge, that's Rory's template. By Saturday, the mission was clear. Post something in the 60s, move within shouting distance, and give Sunday a reason to roar. Easy on paper, impossible at Royal Melbourne. Friday had already tested him. The whiff wasn't just a miss, was a gut punch. But Rory did what the best do. He turned embarrassment into ignition. Fairway, green, birdie, then another. The gallery that winced began to hum. Trust returned, shot by shot, like a heartbeat finding rhythm. Trust is everything here. Trust the bounce to feed the ball. Trust the wind's last-second nudge. Trust the number even when the green looks tilted. And most of all, trust the swing that got you here by late afternoon. Rory's tempo softened. Pre-shot routine unhurried. Strikes sounded like a metronome. He walked off with the kind of 60s that don't scream, they reassure. Saturday began with that same quiet certainty. Early tee shots threaded corridors. Approach shots landed on contours and slid into makeable ranges. The putter wasn't flamboyant, just honest. Good strokes, honest results. Shoulders dropped, pace quickened, eyes brightened. It was the Rory that makes you believe the next hole could flip the day. Then chaos intervened. Royal Melbourne doesn't need a roar to ruin a plan. Sometimes it only needs silence and a stray piece of trash. The banana peel leaning against his ball changed everything. A routine punch-out became a puzzle. Touch it and risk a penalty. Back off and play a compromised shot from an awkward stance. With a mocking yellow prop daring your focus. Rory conferred briefly, weighed his options, and chose the professional instinct. don't fuss. Don't touch, just play it. Control what you can, live with what you can't. But the problem wasn't just one swing. Once the clip exists, it becomes the story. Every shot after carries the echo. Momentum, the most fragile currency in golf, starts to leak. The crowd whispers, marshals hustle, volunteers scour the rough. Meanwhile, leaders keep posting numbers. Etiquette hums underneath. How did a simple piece of litter end up here? In golf, even the smallest laps can have giant consequences when a ball and a camera are nearby for tournament officials. It's a scramble to make sure the next group doesn't meet the same fate. And then there's the mental duel. Only the player feels the fight to keep your routine intact. When the world is laughing at a frame from 2 minutes ago, can you rehearse the breath, commit to the window, and make a clean move with the same conviction you had on the previous tee? That's the real problem, not the peel, but the noise it brings with it. The round pivoted on a handful of moments that don't look like highlights until you stack them together. The very next swing. After the banana fiasco, Rory could have stewed. Instead, he reset with a routine he's honed for years. Step back. Stare at a fixed point on the horizon. Breathe in for 4. Out for 4. The next tee shot was a statement. Center stripe, hold the finish. A swing that said, the clip won't own me. You could feel the gallery breathe with him. The stubborn par save. Every charge needs a hinge, and his came from a greenside lie that begged for doubt. Ball slightly below the feet, fringe into the grain, flag tucked. He chose the nervy option. Nip it. Landed on a dinner plate. Let it trickle. Tap in par. Not a roar, but the kind of save that puts oxygen back into a round. The mid-iron that broke the spell. A few holes later, he pulled a stock 8 iron. Trajectory perfect. One hop, stopped inside 10 feet. Birdie, the scoreboard didn't explode. But the rhythm returned, shoulders squared, stride lengthened. The camera caught a grin that hadn't been there since the peel. Royal Melbourne tempts you to chase. He didn't. Twice, he faced long-range birdie looks across roller coaster greens and took the disciplined par. No hero speed. No 3-putt mistake. Invisible wins, but they buy the runway you need for late red numbers. Late in the round, he reached a par 5 and 2. The eagle putt threatened, the birdie fell. Momentum banked. One goofy disaster followed by 5 decisions leaning into patience and control. The clips will loop the peel. The round will remember the choices. By sunset, the headline had 2 halves: chaos and composure, misstep and mastery. One banana and one Rory showing exactly why he belongs at Royal Melbourne. The meme and the score. Rory McIlroy didn't let a piece of slapstick trash wreck his week. He steadied the heartbeat, stacked disciplined pars, and slipped in enough birdies to post a number that keeps Sunday alive. Not the front row seat he wanted, but close enough to see the stage lights sand at Royal Melbourne that matters. Leaders can skid in a heartbeat. Tournament-wise, the outcome is simple. He survives the chaos with momentum intact. The card shows a round in the 60s. The body language says there's more in the tank. The analytics fairways found. Approach windows hit. Stress managed point to a player who can turn a quiet start into a late charge if the putter cooperates and the wind turns mischievous for everyone. Narrative-wise. The banana peel becomes a footnote, not a verdict. The internet will loop the clip forever, but golfers will remember the reset. That's the difference between a week that unrav